The Trading 212 mobile version of the app has proved to be very popular. However, the web application is less spoken about. And in today's video, I'm going to be looking at their new web version, going through the old one and looking at the new one and seeing what the differences are and see if they've actually improved the whole experience for actually investing using your desktop PC. If you want to sign up to Trading 212, use the link in my description down below and you will receive a free share when you sign up and top up your account. Alternatively, I have a promo code which you can always ask me, and if you've signed up recently, didn't receive a free share, you can receive a free share in that way. So here is the desktop version of Trading 212. Whenever I make a video about Trading 212, I always use the mobile app because a lot more people use that. However, I prefer to use the desktop app a lot of the times, and you're going to see some of the improvements that are making the mobile version and the desktop version a bit more cohesive. So this is the old version of the app. As you can see, all the useful information bits are here. Here is the portfolio graph, and as always, Trading 212 calculates your portfolio very, very weirdly. You have the 1 day view, you have the 1 week view, you have the 1 month view, 3 months, 1 year max. Here you can see all of your investments. For example, if I go into Alphabet, you can see the change in the value of the stock on the past month, 3 months, 1 year, all of these different axes. If you want to, you can even launch into advanced chart. Here you have a lot of advanced trading stuff that you have at your disposal. For example, Fibonacci stuff, which I have no idea how these stuff work. You can draw squares and all sorts of other patterns that will help you read into patterns that don't exist and make great losses that you will never recover from. But jokes aside, all these tools can be useful for someone who wants to trade. You know, you can change the time period, you can add candlesticks, you can even add Helsinki Ashi bars, all sorts of other stuff, you know, that I'm not going to go through because I don't really advocate trading like that on this channel. But yeah, this web version does have everything that you need. If I go over here, we can quickly change between our CFD account, which I don't have, and my Trading 212 ISA. So if I just click on that, you can see that now I am quickly into my Trading 212 ISA. And the reason why I like using the desktop app is, of course, everything is bigger, everything has a keyboard, things are very tactile and easy to fill out. The way that I use it is that I like to check my pending orders. I like to buy at certain limits. For example, if I click on account value, you can see that I have £8.79 left. That could essentially give me a whole share. If I go into buy, I can go to limit, I can click 1 share, and if it hits £8.32, for example, if it ever does, Trading 212 will actually try to execute my order at that price, review order, and apparently I don't have sufficient funds, but if I did, I could do that. As you can see, I can also check my pending orders. I already have these 3 orders, 10, 150, and 2,530, set to buy at a limit of £8.68. So if that price ever reaches £8.68, it will execute all these shares, and it does so really well with Trading 212. So going back into this main account, so this is my Trading 212 Invest account, you can see I can search every stock here. For example, if I wanted to get the GSPX, I can use my keyboard, find out the GSPX, and then of course I can add it to my watch list. I can actually put on pricing alerts. I can actually check fund details here. You may have noticed recently I've made a video of how the iShare ETFs, for example this one, has advanced details now on Trading 212. However, it's not available on the desktop version yet. We're going to switch over to the beta, however which way you want to say it, and then this should appear there. Lots of control that we have. Everything in this old app does work the way that you kind of want it to. You also have this whole calendar feature. As you can see, very important events related to some of your stocks can be seen here, you know, all sorts of stuff, and you can actually filter what you want. You can have by impact, by currency. So of course, if you don't want random currencies, you can switch them off. You can also find some Trading 212 created videos, stuff like Investing 101, what dividend investing is, stuff like that. All of this can usually be found on their YouTube channel too. You even have this card section here. If I click onto it, you can see their upcoming debit card from Trading 212. You can join the wait list here. You can also see your notifications, for example, all your orders that are filled. However, you might notice that actually some of these notifications don't include the social element that Trading 212 is so good at on their mobile app, and you will see in the new version they'll have some of that. Furthermore, you can easily see what kind of free shares you've gotten. For example, I received 112 free shares, so thank you very much. You can also check how much interest you've gained on your cash. For example, here currently you can see I have £26,270 and I'm earning a daily interest of £3.64. I also use this feature a lot. I can check my history. I can go in to see how much dividends I've received, you know, per tax year. I can also see my total realized profit and loss here. All in all, this desktop app is already very functional. However, it is missing a few elements, namely the social element. It makes more sense to have your forums in a desktop version because then you can interact with your keyboard. You can quickly check other sources online via your browser and, you know, link them together. So now I'm going to click this this green button here to switch to their new app, which is in their beta version. Beta meaning it's not complete. They are still ironing out the creases, looking at bugs and stuff. So it's definitely not a finished version. So that's why you're gonna have to switch to it. So I'm gonna press that green button now. As you can see, it's gonna take a bit of time for it to switch into this new version. So here is the new look Trading 212 desktop version. As you can see, it is very close or more similar to the mobile version we are all familiar with. First of all, in the corner, you can see your account balance and your Trading 212 Invest account. When you press it, finally, they have gotten rid of, the displaying of your email address, which whenever you want to show anything online, you always have your email address. I don't mind because it's that email address that's linked to my YouTube anyway. But for a lot of people, they always have to blank that bit out. And I really like the fact that now it doesn't have that stupid email address on there. So just like the mobile version, you can switch from the Invest account, CFD account, and ISA very quickly. Over here, you can see your account value, including your portfolio value and your free funds. Now you can easily switch between currencies if you really wanted to. For example, if I click GBP here, I can easily convert this and also find out how much interest I'm earning from this menu here. If I click on that, you can see again, it is giving me back to this menu. I can see my daily interest. And also you can see that 100% of my free funds are actually being held within the banks. So as far as we were aware, the daily interest gained from this uninvested cash was actually put into qualifying money market funds. However, you can see £26,000 of mine is actually put into Trading 212's banks. I'm assuming it is because I had this money very fresh over from a trade today, so it probably is going to go into qualifying money market funds very soon. But it's nice to see this breakdown and give you that extra assurance as to where exactly your money is at any given time. You can also quickly see your payments that you've paid for your daily interest. But yeah, this is the menu. It looks very similar to what we have on our mobile app. There's now more continuity between the mobile app and the browser version of the desktop. You can click the pie icon here, and again, you can see all your shares. However, the difference between here is now that the news events that we've seen on our mobile version is now integrated within this desktop version. We can see all the news relating to AMD here, all the comments that you can make here. We also have this new social feed here, and you can see you can follow different people. The people that post on the community, you can actually interact with them straight away. You can actually join the AMD, for example, in this one, their community. You can see investment, of course, you can see a profit, gain and loss. You can see the FX impact. We can also, of course, have the magnifying glass here to search our individual stocks. So again, if we press GSPX on the keyboard, we can go into the GSPX, the one that I like a lot. Here, if we scroll down, we can see now that before on the desktop version, we didn't see this extra information for this iShares ETF. Here we can see a lot more information, for example, the dividend yield, the assets under management, the price to earnings ratio, the dividend frequency paid out semi-annually. We can also see the 1 year, 3 year and 5 year return figures. And of course, we can see what kind of holdings this iShares ETF has. For example, 7.22% in Apple. The different sectors it has, of course, is very technology heavy, being the S&P 500. We can also quickly see the regions such as the United States, which is 99.7, of course, very heavily. S&P 500 is weighted in the USA. We can go back, and for any share, we can see there is a lot of newsfeed information here. And of course, just like before, we can buy and sell at our own limit sells and limit buys. We can put in the price we want, for example. We have the magnifying glass here, and it allows you to search for any share or ETF. The credit card thing is still here. However, we can see that we now have a community feature that we can go into directly from the desktop version. Here we have our feed. Now, this was only previously reserved for the mobile version. You can, of course, go in and create your own post in any of these topics. So for this social section, you can even go into communities, and then you can go into any of these communities or get recommended these communities. For example, if I go into news, you can see some of these Trading 212 members are actually very active on this platform, and they will very regularly post news tidbits that you might find useful that could help you kind of navigate the markets, although none of this is financial advice. You can also see stuff that are hot, so anything that's been upvoted quite a bit, and of course the top ones of like the past year or so, very high upvotes here. Of course, there's always this extra menu here, and when you click onto it, the email address is still there, but you can find out extra menus such as what free shares you got, what kind of interest you're earning on your shares, what kind of interest you're earning on cash, other stuff like moving funds, so you can move funds between your invest account and your ISA account, for example. You can find out the videos here, so it doesn't have its own section anymore. You can have to go to the extra menu. You can learn more more stuff here. The economic calendar is here, so it's not on the main screen menus anymore. Price alerts, history, portfolio transfers, which is a new feature that I'm going to be talking about in a dedicated video. They can be accessed here. Essentially, you can transfer some of your holdings that you have from a different account. For example, my free trade account. I'm going to transfer some of the shares from that account to this account, and it should be free. I think the broker that you move from can have a fee, but I'm going to make a dedicated video about this very soon. So I'm going to quickly go into my ISA account just to show you that everything is still the same. So here is my ISA. As you can see, this is my portfolio. If I click on the arrow here, you can see that my portfolio balance is this. Here is my free funds and then my reserved orders. As you saw before, I can easily place limit buys and sell here just as before. So nothing much has changed in terms of that. But the overall look and feel of this desktop browser-based version has definitely changed. And they have added a few features that was missing from the desktop version, which just gives it a lot more utility in my opinion compared to the previous version. So make sure to check out some of my other videos and I'll see you in the next video.